Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2020 London Faith and Belief Community Awards. This event is an annual celebration which recognises the work of unsung heroes from across London's rich and diverse faith and belief communities. It is so lovely to see so many friendly faces joining the celebration this evening. You are very much welcome. My name is Siobhan. I work at the Faith and Belief Forum, and I'm delighted to be one of your hosts tonight. For those of you who do not know us, the Faith and Belief Forum is an interfaith charity. We have proudly worked for over 20 years building positive and lasting relationships between people of different faiths, beliefs and backgrounds, including non-religious beliefs. We deliver our interfaith programming up and down the country in schools, universities and community settings. And we are delighted that this is our 4th year of organising and hosting the London Faith and Belief Community Awards, with support from Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant of Greater London's Council on Faith. This year, coming together as a community of Londoners is more important than ever before. Life has been dramatically different this year, and during the COVID-19 pandemic, faith and belief community groups have faced many challenges. And yet through these challenges, you have been essential in responding to the emergency needs of our communities, getting food and resources to those who need them, advocating for the vulnerable, providing vital pastoral and spiritual care, and working together across differences. At the Faith and Belief Forum, we have seen firsthand how hard faith and belief community groups have been working, often with little to no funding, making an enormous difference to those who have been impacted by the pandemic. And tonight, as always, you deserve so much celebration. In the past, this awards ceremony has been about shining a light on unrecognised projects. But I hope we have from the pandemic is that there is more understanding in society as a whole, including in the corridors of power, of the vital role that faith and belief community groups play in London today, and that your leadership, influence, creativity and spirit are not to be undervalued. Beyond COVID-19 though, tonight is also about celebrating a wide range of projects, all of which are inspired by faith, belief and values, and which make an exceptional difference to the lives of Londoners. Today we will be celebrating these diverse projects under 6 categories: health and well-being, inspiring youth, interfaith relations, promoting inclusion, supporting women, and community resourcefulness in response to COVID-19. It is an honour to be with you this evening, and I hope that together we can create a really special celebration for the very deserving groups and individuals awarded here tonight. I also want to acknowledge that today is a special day for our Sikh friends, Guru Nanak Devji's 551st birth anniversary. So a particular welcome and thanks to Sikh friends and organisations who are making time to be with us here this evening. To take part in the celebration, I encourage everyone to turn your cameras on if you would like to, and to join in throughout the evening by using the reaction buttons in Zoom to clap our winners and congratulating them in the chat as well. We'll be reading out messages that come in through the chat throughout the event, so please do shout out the projects that you're here to support and congratulate those that you learn about for the first time tonight. I'd like to invite you to get familiar with the chat now so that we can get a sense of who is here. And I see that quite a few messages have come in already, but if you haven't written anything yet, please do share your name, the borough that you're zooming in from tonight, and the faith and belief community group you're representing or supporting. One other Zoom tip, I suggest that you view the event through the speaker view rather than the gallery view, which you should be able to change on the top right of your screen. That way, whoever is speaking will be a little larger as you're viewing the window. Please join me now for the first virtual round of applause of the evening by using your reaction buttons to celebrate everybody who is here tonight. Great, I can see a wave of hand clapping emojis appearing across the gallery, so thank you. And get familiar with that button because we're going to be using it a lot as we progress through the evening. I would now like to take a moment to thank the generous sponsors who have made tonight's event possible: Dangor Education and Leon Kamhi. It is thanks to their support that we are able to award the 40 inspiring projects highlighted today, who each work tirelessly for their communities. So thank you very much to our sponsors. And now I'm very honoured to introduce and hand over to my co-host for this evening, Reverend Nims Abunge. Nims, are you there?
I am certainly here, and thank you ever so much, everybody, and great to be here tonight. Again, the first thing you must learn to do, like I just did, I was speaking and I was muted. So apologies to everybody. It's an honor to be here to celebrate the fourth awards that we have here. And it's been an amazing journey this year. And I know that people have often said it's been unprecedented, but it's wonderful as a group. We're here to celebrate. My name is Nims. I'm a pastor of a church called Freedom's Ark here in North London. And we've had the privilege of serving so many folks in our community over the last few months. And it's just an honor to be one of tonight's hosts. It's a great honor to be supporting the event. And I believe a great opportunity for networking. Tonight, we're joined by people from such diverse backgrounds. And this is a very special thing. So let's make tonight really special for each one of us. Tonight, we'll be celebrating a range of amazing projects. This year, we received over 100 nominations, and a judging panel had a tough task and the pleasure of learning what was going around in London, learning about the important and groundbreaking community work that's going on, and selecting their shortlist. And the shortlist of finalists, we've gotten up to 40 of them. We'll be celebrating 4 inspiring individuals and an additional 56 projects. Everyone recognized as part of tonight's awards does amazing work, and we are delighted to be together to take time to celebrate each one of them. You'd have all received a digital brochure with information on the projects recognized throughout the awards, and I encourage you all to look through this document to find more about the different projects. Alongside the presentation of awards tonight, we will feature performances from 2 of our winners, and we'll be hearing from some very special guests. Some of these speakers come from across London. The ceremony will run for about an hour, and then we will have the chance to network. Now, in relation to networking, I would encourage you to look at all the people who are signing up in the chat. So you might want to follow up on that when we have breakout sessions at the end. And if you're posting on social media, please use hashtag LFBCA20. That's hashtag LFBCA20. Now, to offer a keynote speech, it is my pleasure and my privilege to introduce Sir Kenneth Olisa. He is Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant of Greater London. These awards would not be possible without the support of the Lord Lieutenant and his Council on Faith, who have been working with the Faith and Belief Forum since the inception of the awards, and that is for over the last 4 years. Sir Kenneth Olisa has a really important vision for London, and it's fantastic to have him here this evening to tell us more. Sir Kenneth Olisa.
Thank you, Reverend Nims, and I've discovered there's a mute button. I must remember to use that with you in future. Good evening, everybody. It's brilliant to see so many people here. I see the count of participants continue to clock up. We're at 383, which is fantastic. That's far more than we could ever have managed to squeeze into a physical space. So there at least is one advantage of the COVID pandemic. As the Reverend Nims has just said, I am Her Majesty's representative here in this great city of Greater London. I should just take a few moments to explain what that role is, because one of the more depressing facts of my role as Lord Lieutenant is to realize how few people have any idea what a Lord Lieutenant is. So I will explain that in a second, although more depressingly, I have to say that once I've explained, you'll probably join that large population of people who say, well, then how on earth did you become the Lord Lieutenant? But perhaps tonight, the one advantage of a Zoom call is I won't have to put up with those askance looks. So, and then I would actually, and the other thing I'd like to do, but rather more importantly, is to explain why this evening is so very, very important for London, as we are showing this year through all of the things that Nims just referred to. So let me just give you a brief history lesson. The first Lord Lieutenant of a county was appointed by King Henry VIII about 500 years ago, and it's been an unbroken tradition for half a millennium. It's interesting to note that there are 98 of us, one for every county of this great land, and London, of course, is by far and away the largest and the best, although I'm not allowed to say that because we are in no way competitive, but it is definitely the largest. maybe not the best. That's a debatable point. And perhaps most relevantly, in this complicated year of COVID, Black Lives Matter, and so on, it's important to note that I am the first British-born Black Lord Lieutenant in 500 years of history, which demonstrates rather an important measure of the progress that this country has made over so long and continues to make, which is the important and positive message. Now, my task is quite simple. In this modern age, I no longer do what my 500-year-ago forebears did, which was to raise armies and quell riots. Both of those are handled now by professionals. My job today is to uphold the dignity of the monarchy. Actually, that's what my forebears did 500 years ago. They just did it by quelling riots and raising the army. I have a different set of responsibilities. But the monarchy, as embodied in Her Majesty the Queen, is an integral part of everything that we do in our daily lives. Obviously, at one level, it's the Royal Mail has the Queen's head on every stamp. If you are unfortunate enough to find yourself in court, it is you versus the Crown. If you pay your taxes, and I hope you all do, they are paid to Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. So the Queen is front and central of just about every aspect of our life. But it's not that symbolism that I want to talk about this evening. It's what she stands for, what she embodies. And I would say that Her Majesty the Queen embodies two fundamental British characteristics. One is an amazing commitment to duty. Now you see that in Her Majesty the Queen at 94, still working every day to deliver on her other great passion, which is the community. Her task, as she says at every opportunity in every speech, is to keep the nation together, to get people to understand the love of other people and help other people, both in the country and in the Commonwealth. And duty and community are two themes which will run through the rest of this evening, because you, those of you in the audience, which I'm pleased to say has just broken through 400, you, those of you in the audience, represent both duty and community writ large in this great city. Now, as Lord Lieutenant, I've taken the old idea of quelling riots and raising armies into a different model, which is essentially to follow Her Majesty's lead and to demonstrate the power of duty and of community. And I've captured that in a strategy called Building Bridges for a Fairer London. And you can find that on my website. The easiest way to get to my website, because unfortunately the title of my website is about several feet long, is to Google either Lord Lieutenant, although based on Nim's pronunciation, you may find that hard to spell. But if you Google my name, Ken Olisa, you should be able to get very quickly to the lieutenancy page. And then if you look at Building Bridges, that's on the page, you can understand the basis of the strategy. But let me say the fundamental of it is to find ways of following Her Majesty's lead and helping communities help each other to become ever stronger in our great city. And it stands on three legs. The three characteristics that I believe define us, our identity when we meet people. So think about when you meet a stranger and you talk about yourself to that stranger. What do you describe? How do you describe yourself? Well, I would imagine the first thing is you talk about your job. If you have a job, if you're an employee, if you're an employer, you have your own business, if you're a volunteer, but you talk about what you do, your occupation. And the second thing I would imagine that you talk about is your heritage. Where did you grow up? Where do you come from? Perhaps where your parents come from, where you live, your heritage, both personal and built heritage. And the third dimension, I am sure, especially with this audience this evening, that you talk about is your faith. So occupation, heritage, and faith are the three legs on which my strategy for building bridges for a fairer London stand. And I have three councils of distinguished deputies. I'm very lucky to be supported by over 100 deputy lieutenants. You recognize them if you ever see their names in public because they have the letters DL after their names. And I have set up three councils, one for occupation, not surprisingly, one for heritage, and one for faith. And tonight, we're lucky to have David Dangor, who'll be speaking to a little bit later, who chairs my faith council, talk about the work of that council. And at this point, I should perhaps do a big shout out and thank you to the Faith and Belief Forum for all the hard work that they've put into making this evening and the program that this evening represents such a great success, and particularly Siobhan for your great introduction there, which I think set the mood for the evening. Now, That's enough about me and enough about the lieutenancy. I want to talk about you, our guests this evening, because tonight is, in fact, only about you. It's a way of saying thank you to all the things that you do, all the things that you stand for. But I also want to focus on one very important bit, which is faith and the importance of faith in London, the importance of faith to communities, the importance of faith to duty. What you do is so important because you've shown that faith isn't selfish. There are many organizations tonight, though faith-based, that are helping people not of their faith. They're helping people in need, people who are marginalized. That is the power of not being selfish. And faith teaches us not to be selfish. The second aspect that you show faith does is it gives confidence. Again, you'll hear story after story after story tonight of people armed with faith who've gone out to help other people despite the dangers of the pandemic, with the confidence that their faith will give them the strength to support those others, the marginalized and the weak. You're also living examples that faith gives guidance. At a time in our lives when so many things that we used to take for granted are being questioned, science, politics, leadership, society, all sorts of things are being questioned in all sorts of ways. You know that your faith helps you to steer your way through that jungle of uncertainty. I would say that you embody Her Majesty's principles of duty and community. The marginalised and weak of London have been helped to survive the ravages of COVID, in large part due to the work of those gathered here this evening, and those of whom you represent. And what you'll find tonight is a wonderful celebration of your work. And I have a request, which is in your borough, it would be very good if we could recreate the excitement of this evening at the borough level. We've done it in a few boroughs, but there are 32 boroughs in London, and everyone has a large number of faith-based charities doing precisely what you represent this evening. And I'd love for us to be able to roll this out more fully across each of the boroughs in London. And if you are able to help us with that, then Phil and Siobhan and the team will be delighted to hear from you. One of the things that I know you've all faced through this period, as demand for your service has gone through the roof, it's been harder and harder to raise money to support yourselves. And again, many of you have dug deep into your pockets to make that happen. And I'm pleased that tonight we're going to make a little bit of a dent in that challenge. But I would point you to the London Community Foundation, the LCF, look at their website, and they constantly have new programs. So you need to keep going back to their website. They constantly have new programs to provide financial support for precisely the kinds of work that everybody here this evening represents. So expand us into the boroughs if you can, and the London Community Foundation website is a place to go. But enough of the parish notices. Let's get back to why tonight is so important. It's so important because you are so important. What you represent is everything that embodies the human spirit. And I am so proud to be able to share this exciting evening with you. I'm particularly proud, though, to be able to do that as Her Majesty's representative in this great city. So I have one final message for you, which I hope you will remember for all time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sir Kenneth, for those encouraging words and of support and also guidance. And folks, before we move on to the ceremony itself, I'm pleased to say that, as Sir Kenneth pointed out, we are well over 400 people. And this is the first time, but it is befitting in the fourth year to have over 400 people with us. So that is a special moment. It's great to have you here with us. And I also know that we have some messages from folks from all over London. We have people from Waltham Forest, from Lambeth, from Southwark, from Barnet, from Dagenham, from Greenwich, from Lewisham. We even have some folks from Scotland. We have from Iran. And I think we're going international. So it's amazing that the world is gathered right at this award ceremony. And we would love to read some messages. So in the course of the evening, I'll be reading some messages from some of our guests who are saying welcome and it's great to be here. Now, I'd like to I'd like to see some of our guests interacting with one another at the end. But to all of you, we want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. Allow me indulge you with one or two messages. I've just seen one that's just coming. It says, oh, well, here we go. We've got Omokwe that's saying, I'm watching from the United States. Congratulations to all the awardees. So great to have you here. Then we have another one. Congratulations to all the awardees. My name is Rabbi Jeff Berger from Mitzvah Day, Camp Unity and Hertfordshire Constabulary. I'll ignore the other one that says Pastor Nims is a legend. Thank you. I find that really humbling. I would stop right there. But it is great to have. I have says I won an award in 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great evening. It's great to be part of this evening, celebrating one another and getting involved in the chat. Please keep on telling us where you come from. All 400 of you, we want to know. So let's begin with these inspirational projects we've been talking about. To announce the winners for our first category, which is about health and well-being, I'd like to welcome to our stage our one and only Sheila Gowell. Please welcome Sheila. Sheila, over to you.
My name is Sheila Gewald. I'm a Deputy Lieutenant and sit on the Council of Faith. As one of the judges for tonight's awards, this gives me great pleasure to be here and honour those who have selflessly given of their time to make a difference to those less fortunate themselves in these difficult times. I'm announcing the projects recognised in the health and wellbeing category. Projects in this category create specialised services for the health and well-being of Londoners. They reduce social isolation, improve quality of life for vulnerable Londoners, especially of those from different backgrounds. There are 8 projects awarded in this category. They are the Association of Black Humanists. They provide a confidential, friendly and supportive environment, particularly those from the African diaspora who are free thinkers, non-believers, atheists and humanists. The Jewish Association for Mental Health. This is a specialist provider of mental health services for the Jewish community. Their Headroom Cafe in Golders Green brings awareness and access to mental health support. The Ladies Committee of St Mary's Greek Orthodox Cathedral, Al Myrophorai. Without this group, there would be almost no social contact for many vulnerable members of the local Orthodox Christian community. The Rastafari Movement UK Wellbeing Programme, who assist individuals holistically with a range of services, focusing on those who struggle to engage with mainstream services. Made in Hackney. They help people to have a happier, healthier and more connected and environmentally stable life by teaching communities special skills to grow, cook and preserve food. The National Cricket League. They use the vehicle of cricket to help young people, adults and senior participants connect with the game in promoting many healthy and well-being objectives, both physical and mental. New Vision for Women, who run health and well-being workshops in a local care home, connecting local women with residents. And finally, last but not least, Sew London, who run therapeutic sewing workshops for the well-being of residents and children's sewing classes during school holidays whilst teaching sustainable responsibility. Congratulations to all these projects awarded in this category. It was a pleasure being a judge and an honour to learn about the work you do, especially, as I said before, in these very difficult times, to give of your time so selflessly. The amazing work you do will make such a difference to all the participants who benefit from it. Thank you so much and well done again. Enjoy.
Well, thank you so much, Sheila. We don't have enough time to hear from every winner, but we've invited one group from each category to share a few words with us and to tell us a little bit more about their project. So I have the pleasure tonight of introducing the first of these, and a reminder to please keep your contribution to no longer than a minute, but please welcome Sajeev Patel from the National Cricket League. Sajeev, it's all yours.
Hi everyone, good evening. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Brilliant, thank you. Distinguished guests and everyone, all the champions who are here, thank you for having us and for recognizing our work. We are so privileged that we are providing health and well-being through cricket, a sport that provides bat and ball, connecting people. We have engaged with various different faiths and backgrounds, all walks of life. We have done this really well, where we've had experience from our team of management who come from youth background, coaching backgrounds, umpiring backgrounds, and we've all come together to form this platform for everyone, not only on a competitive level, but on a training level, on a development level, elite pathways. We have provided various different opportunities, and we tried to do so much. And we've done so much in regards to online stuff as well. During the pandemic, we have provided sessions, demonstrations of different drills that you can do indoors in your back garden, and we continue to do so. But I think this is a real dedication to everyone, from all our members, from the cricketing family, that without this wouldn't have been possible. But I'd like to dedicate this award because we lost someone, a very close brother, friend, and so in Junaid Patel, who we lost a few weeks ago. He was there from the start of this league to start us off. And this award is really dedicated to him, as well as everyone. So we really appreciate it. So thank you very much. I think that's my minute up, but really appreciate it, and congratulations in advance to everyone else who have won their awards tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations, Sajid. It's great to have you here and to hear about your important work. Now, to announce the winners for our second category, Inspiring Youth, I would like to introduce a very special guest. She has had a diverse and varied career, including as an actress, presenter, writer, producer, businesswoman, and media regulator, and has over 40 years of charitable work under her belt. We are delighted to have her support of the awards this evening. Please welcome Baroness Floella Benjamin.
Hello, I'm Baroness Floella Benjamin, and I'm absolutely delighted to be here tonight because I am a lover of all things bright and beautiful. I have dedicated my life to the well-being of children because childhood lasts a lifetime. So we must instill confidence and self-belief in children and young people to make them feel as though they belong. And it's my mission to empower people to realize that they are all guardian angels of the future, our children and young people, because everything we do affects children, directly and indirectly, whether we like it or not. So we have to act with morality, integrity, and honesty, and be the person others can trust. That's how we can and must inspire children and young people, so they grow up knowing how best to make a difference to our wounded world. This is why I am so thrilled to be announcing the projects recognized in the Inspiring Youth category this evening. You know, young people are often overlooked and may be excluded from civic life due to their background. but projects within this category work with young people to encourage leadership and participation in their local community and connect them with opportunities beyond their neighborhoods. There are 6 winning projects awarded in this category that show what a difference young people are making and changing lives. They are St. Albans Fulham, who run weekly youth clubs for local young people, creating a safe space for building positive relationships, both peer-to-peer and with adults. The Shri Muktajivan Swamibar type band London, who were established in 1972 to bring and keep together the youth of the local Hindu community in an endeavour that would provide them training in a musical instrument and transferable life skills. The Second Home, a youth movement based on Jewish summer camps that uses residential programming and leadership training to empower refugees and migrants to flourish in the place they call home. Black Business for Black Youth by the Salem Project CIC, a project that recruits Black British business owners who are Christian and Muslim to come together to give work experience to young Black British boys in a variety of industries. Western Ballers Football Club, who focus on developing and connecting and protecting young people who are in danger of committing or being a victim of serious youth violence. They do this through sports and mentoring. And finally, Youth League UK Play Rangers project, set up in 2008 to ensure that good, inclusive and accessible children's play activities are provided for young people from deprived neighbourhoods. All these projects are so uplifting and inspirational. Congratulations to all the winners and for the work you do to inspire the next generation of Londoners. Well done, all of you. And remember to keep smiling, because winners smile. And wherever you go and whatever happens to you, there will always, always, always be somebody who loves you. And that's me, Floella. Goodbye.
Brilliant. What a lovely message of support. It's so fantastic to have Baroness Floella's support. I would now like to invite one of the winners from this category to share with us a short response and tell us a bit about their work. As Nim said earlier, please keep the response to a minute so we can make sure to hear from everyone this evening. I'm delighted to introduce Ismail Lee South from Black Businesses for Black Youth.
Thank you very much, Flora Benjamin. My kids are big fans of her TV show on CBBS. Thank you. We're from the Salam Project. We've done Black Business for Black Youth to get Christian and Muslim business owners to give opportunities for young people. Thank you to all the businesses. Thank you to all the volunteers. Thank you to the Faiths and Beliefs Forum. And thank you to everyone. One love, one God, bless, peace, love. That's it. Bye-bye.
Oh, wow. That was so special. Well done, well done. Thank you for such a short and powerful speech. It's been great to have you as part of this event. And it would be great to hear this evening. It's great to hear this evening from the various messages that folks are leaving us today. And I'd like to look at some of the chat messages. I've been looking at the chats, and if you would indulge me, I have seen quite a number of messages, including one to Dame Floella, one of my favorite people in the world, a youth minister. I'm so pleased to hear that things are happening for young people, something to that effect. And another person says connecting all communities is from London Borough of Hackney. Well, that's beautiful to hear. Then we also have a message that says, good to have Shanna team from London, Leeds and Leicester supporting our work with Hindu Council in UK, promoting Hindus Embrace Organ Donation Awareness Campaign in London. And then the last one I'd like to read is, thank you Thank you all for your kind words. If anyone wants to connect with sports like cricket with your project, please feel free to email me. And that's Ajib saying, get in touch. And please go on the chat and see what we're asking you to do. There's so many opportunities to network. This is a great networking event. Thank you again for those messages of support. Please keep sending them in, and between Siobhan and myself, we'll keep reading them out. Before we hear more from our finalists, I'm now excited to introduce our first performance tonight. And it's from the London Humanist Choir. And they will be performing a track called Pokaera Anna, an unofficial national anthem of New Zealand. The choir recorded it in their lockdown bubbles, and it's become the most popular video of a virtual choir. I'm looking forward to hearing exactly what this sounds like. Folks, please enjoy. Wow. That was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. Listening to that music and reading the responses and the chat, everybody saying inspiring, beautiful, lovely. Thank you so much, London Humanist Choir. It's really special to listen to that beautiful piece of music tonight. Now to announce the winner of our third category, the interfaith relations, I would like to welcome to this category sponsor, Leon Camille. So Leon, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Leon Camille, and it gives me great pleasure tonight to be announcing the projects recognized in the interfaith relations category. Before I do that, I just want to make a special mention of a leader in the UK in interfaith relations who sadly passed away less than a month ago, and that was Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks. He had a lot to say on interfaith relations, and I just want to quote from his book, The Dignity of Difference. There he says that God, the creator of humanity, having made a covenant with all humanity, then turns to one people and commands it to be different. And the reason was to teach humanity to make space for difference. God may at times be found in human other, the one not like us. And rather than just suggest there is one gateway to God's presence, rather the idea that the unity of God is to be found in the diversity of creation. Some very special words of wisdom and love across humanity. And now I'm going to turn and announce the 3 projects which have been awarded in this category, which build bridges across communities and create hubs that are open to all. The first project which is awarded in this category is Babel's Blessings, a grassroots language school and migrant solidarity project. Babel's Blessing runs a program of ESOL classes for migrants, refugees and asylum seekers that are free and open to all. The second project is the Islington Faiths Forum, which is a community partnership of faith-based organisations and projects working together to assist the local community. And the third winner in this category is Faiths Together in Lambeth, which is an independent borough-wide body fostering constructive relationships among faith communities and promoting multi-faith involvement in civic life. A hearty congratulations to all the winners and for the work you do bringing people together to collaborate and build friendships. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leon. I recall Lord Rabbi Sachs, as I was there on the day he launched his book, his last book, and I never knew that would be the last time we'll get the privilege of hearing from such an awesome man, and prayers continue for his family. I would like to now invite one of the winners from this category to offer a short response and tell us a little bit more about their work. Please, as I said, keep this no longer than a minute. And if it's all right with you all, I'd like to welcome none other than Alan Johnson to share your thoughts from Babel's Blessings. Alan, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Nims. Thank you also to Siobhan, to Leon, and of course to the Lord Lieutenant for your excellent words so far today. Really excited to be here today to share this with you. Such a pity it's happening online, but at least we've got so many people and I'm hearing about some excellent projects which are really exciting and giving me hope after this difficult year. So well done to everyone. A little bit about my organization or our organization. Our mission is to reach some of the most isolated communities in London, working across all faiths and helping them reach their goals of not only learning English, but also to become community organizers and push for better rights and better conditions, as well as free English classes for everyone. This is a big goal. And this year it's been especially difficult for obvious reasons. We've had to move all of our classes onto Zoom, and we've had to work a lot with lots of different communities and people with limited access to internet and technology. So we've been supporting this by running language classes. We try to represent the large minority communities in London and the migrant communities in London with their languages. We have Turkish and Spanish and Sylheti and Arabic. So that's how we keep it going. That's how we run it all. But I want to really dedicate this award to our teachers who really make this happen day in, day out. So congratulations to all of our excellent teachers. Let's hope that not only with the award, but also with the networking tonight, we'll be able to consolidate our organization and move forward and make ourselves even more resilient for 2021 and beyond. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. That's that. I'm done. Was that a minute?
That was so well done.
All right.
Excellent. Awesome. Well done, Alan. And thank you so much for sharing such inspiring thoughts. It's great to hear from you and glad to have you with us. Now to announce the winners of our fourth category, Promoting Inclusion. I would like to introduce another very special guest. He is a Church of England priest, a co-presenter of BBC Radio Radio 4 Saturday Live and a regular TV panelist, and is the only vicar to have a #1 hit record. So we are honored to have his support this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Reverend Richard Coles.
Hello, I am the Reverend Richard Coles. I'm a Church of England vicar in the parish of Findon in the middle of England, but I also pop up from time to time on the media in one form or another and have been described, well, by my mother actually, as a borderline national trinket. Thanks, Mum. It's a real pleasure to be with you tonight and to be celebrating the extraordinary work that community organisations in London are doing in this most difficult of years, faith-based and non-faith-based. The challenges, of course, are obvious. We've been in a time of pandemic, and that has meant that we have needed, like we've never needed before, to promote those values that underpin community, give them their pulse and their heartbeat, and also give them their resilience. And also, I think, really importantly, is to instill in people hope and a sense that there is a future beyond our present reality, and that's beginning to open up. Faith, of course, plays a really important part in fostering those kind of values and that kind of vision. One of the battle lines that's perhaps most hotly contested is around the issue of inclusion. Faith-based groups in particular have something to offer here because we are very often, we represent long-standing traditions that have very specific characteristics and very defined identities. But very often at the heart of those very communities, you will find the same message, which is one of embracing the world, going out and seeking to include people, and especially people who might be at the margins of our understanding, our sympathy, and our concern. So promoting inclusion is really important, and that's why I'm delighted to be telling you about those who've won in that category, promoting inclusion. Projects within this category work in London at that intersection between faith and belief and other aspects of identity, creating inclusive spaces. 4 projects being awarded in this category, and they are People of Colour team at the London Buddhist Centre and West London Buddhist Centre. They run retreats and events aimed to make meditation and the teachings of the Buddha accessible to people of Black, African, Asian and mixed heritage. Stand Up Education Against Discrimination is a partnership between Maccabee GB and CST, providing anti-discrimination education with a specific focus on anti-Semitism and anti-Muslim hate for students in mainstream schools. Hashtag Out and Proud Parents Day by Naz and Mac Foundation. In 2014, Dr. Nazim Mahmood sadly took his own life a couple of days after being confronted about being gay by his deeply religious parents. Hashtag Out and Proud Parents Day is an annual online event held each year on the anniversary of Naz's passing. That's the 30th of July. And it aims to celebrate parents, especially parents who are from religious backgrounds themselves, who are proud of their LGBTQI+ children. And Barking and Dagenham Progress Project, established to engage, empower and support young disabled people in the borough, creating opportunities and giving them confidence as they head towards adulthood. 4 very worthy category winners.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Reverend Richard Coles. And now to offer a short 1-minute response to tell us about their work, please welcome Matt Mahmood Ogston from the Matt and Naz Foundation. I really think it's great to have you with us. Out and Proud Parents Day. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Matt Mahmood Ogston. My pronouns are he and him. First of all, I say it's an honor and privilege to be in your company at these awards this evening. And with behalf of everyone at Nazamat Foundation, our volunteers, and especially the parents who took part in Out and Proud Parents Day, we reached over 54 million people worldwide this year in a campaign that we hope inspired more religious parents to understand and accept their lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, and intersex children. I started Nazamat Foundation in 2014 because my beautiful fiance, Naz, sadly took his own life 2 days after being confronted about being gay by his deeply religious parents. Each one of you watching tonight has a gift that can change or even save somebody's life. And all I ask you to do, all I plead with you to do, is to reach out to the parents in your community and let them know there is nothing wrong, there is no shame, there is nothing forbidden about loving and accepting the LGBTQI plus child that you gave birth to. I believe that the most important act any of us can do is to accept God's creations for how he made them and for who they were born to be. Thank you all, and God bless.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you for being with us tonight and for sharing those words and for all the important work that you do. Now, I want to read a few messages again that have come in from the chat, and I can see a great many messages have come in, which is lovely, and please do keep those up. So just a few that I've selected, reflecting on the inspiring youth category. Young people are our future, but also our present. They teach us so much. We must open our eyes, ears, and hearts to listen to them, guide them, learn from them, and be inspired by them. Beautiful words, thank you. Other messages, thank you and congratulations to all of tonight's winners from Chris and Irene Rabi of the 14th Walthamstow Scout Group. Welcome to you, and thanks for this wonderful people. Greetings from the Filipino chaplaincy from the Diocese of Chelmsford and Southwark. Welcome to you as well. And then reflections on the London Humanist Choir's beautiful performance. We have absolutely beautiful, so soothing, and angel singing. Lovely comments, thank you for those. And speaking of the performance earlier, it is now time for me to introduce our second performance of the night, and it comes from a group you've already heard of. It's Sri Muktajivan Swami Bhabha Pipe Band London. This band has performed at numerous charitable and cultural events and are based at Sri Swaminarayan Mandir, Kingsbury. This band fuses cultural sounds of both Eastern and Western beats, and here they are at a performance they have done at Wembley Stadium. Wow, what a beautiful, joyful, energetic performance. Thank you so much, Sri Muktajivan, Swami Babha Pipe Band London. It is so lovely to see people gathering together as well, and that's something that I really hope we can do together in the not too distant future. Thank you again. Now, I'm delighted to introduce my colleague from the Faith and Belief Forum, Ellie Tamir, who is going to announce for us the winners for this year's Supporting Women category. Thank you, Ellie.
Good evening. My name is Ellie Tamir, and I am a staff member at the Faith and Belief Forum. I have been a former co-host for the Faith and Belief Community Awards in 2018, and this year I was fortunate to have been on the judging panel. It gives me immense pleasure to be here tonight and support such an important initiative, which is giving a voice to inspiring organisations making a huge difference in our society. I am announcing the projects recognised in the Supporting Women category. Women from all walks of life make extraordinary contributions to their communities and the city we live in. But sadly, they are not always recognised. This category highlights organisations which support women to make change in their community through providing education, advocacy, friendship, and a wider array of services. There are 5 projects awarded in this category. They are Riverbank Trust, a Christian charity that provides long-term emotional and practical support to families in crisis. Flashy Wings Ministry, who work to foster community engagement, eliminate isolation, and encouraging networking among mothers in Southwark. Teen Action, an organisation which provides training and support to Orthodox Jewish young women who are excluded from the majority of provisions due to specific cultural requirements. Ladies of Virtue Outreach Women's Day Centre, who support women mostly of the Black, Asian and minority ethnic communities who commonly experience exclusion, discrimination and lack of access to relevant services. And finally, Binti International, an organisation who eradicate period stigma and provide menstrual education, and as part of their work encourage Gurdwaras to provide free period products for all women and girls. Congratulations to all these 5 winners. We value and celebrate your vital work.
Yes, congratulations to all winners from this category. And I would now like to invite a winner from this category to share with us a 1-minute response and tell us about their work. It's another Ellie, so please welcome Ellie from Teen Action.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Yes, I'm from Teen Action. I've been volunteer director for the last 5 years. I think the biggest part of our faith work is that we provide accessibility for young women that can't access other provisions, primarily because of the need for single gender provisions within the Orthodox Jewish community. I want to share a really small anecdote that actually opened my eyes to exactly what accessibility means. When we were working towards our London Youth Gold Quality Mark, one of the criteria was that we had to do an access audit. When I had done that, I started putting in handrails and we put ramp, we invested quite a bit of money in all these kind of disabled access features. And London Youth came back to us with one critique. They go, excellent work, but how are you making your provision accessible to your users? At that point, I realized that the word accessible, though a lot of times associated with disabled access, encompasses much more. Accessible can also mean making things accessible to users based on their religion, their cultural needs, language differences. So that's what we do. We provide the same kind of programs that for education and employment that are provided nationally, locally, but we do it with a specific focus on accommodating Jewish cultural requirements and religious requirements. One of the biggest things that we did during COVID was providing remote provision over the phone, because as most charities went through digital or internet access for remote provision, our users couldn't access that. So I think that's where the amazing work of faith charities come in, is that they're able to target exactly what their users need specifically so that nobody's left out. It just makes London inclusive and accessible to all. So I think that's a wonderful thing that we're all celebrating today. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, Ellie, and thank you for being with us tonight and sharing a bit about what you do. Thank you. Now, we come to a very special category for this year, community resourcefulness in response to COVID-19. And to announce this final category, please welcome live Chair of this year's judging panel, Deputy Lieutenant Bushra Nazir.
Thank you very much indeed, Siobhan. Lord Lieutenant, Deputy Lord Lieutenant, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great pleasure to be here tonight as a member of the Council of Faith and the chair of the judging panel. I would like to thank my fellow judges who've been involved in the responsible position of reading through all the 108 applications, which was really an honor and a privilege to do. And then having the quite difficult task of picking the 40 award winners. And obviously we recognized a very large number, 56 recognized projects. And we were able to also identify 4 individuals who'd made outstanding contributions. The judges who worked alongside me were great, spent a lot of time reading through the applications, and I would like to thank them all. Dr. Sheila Gulab, Dr. Mustafa Abasan, Babel Sethia, Colin Harris, Rosie Prescott, all Deputy Lord Lieutenants, and from the Faith and Beliefs Forum, Nick MacDonald, Josh Cass, Ellie Tama, and Sosha Canal. It's been my real honor and privilege to judge the awards and also chair this panel. And again, this COVID category is one that was very much needed. It's a new category we introduced this year, and I would like to go through the people that we have shortlisted for the community resourcefulness in the COVID category. The global pandemic has had an unprecedented impact on the lives of Londoners. Projects within this category quickly adapted their services and or through swift innovation created new projects with a focus on the common goal of assisting those affected in the pandemic. There are 11 projects awarded in this category, and I would like to go through those in turn. The first is the Guru Manayo Granth Gurdwara Food Seva project. By the peak of the lockdown, every single London borough was being served by this group, as well as numerous faith groups across the capital. Over 1 million freshly cooked meals were delivered to those in need. The Starting Out charity, The Kindness Offensive, focusing on the distribution of necessary items such as toiletries and food to the most needy and in crisis, as well as delivering morale boosting gifts to key workers. Al Medina Mosque provided multi-strand strategy to support local residents, from prescriptions collections to providing accurate information in different languages. The Burnt Oak Women's Group set up a pop-up community food bank serving over 3,000 people, providing emotional support to members of the group via Zoom and family activity packs. The First Love Foundation scaled up to meet a 900% increase in demand for their services, delivering advice and support over the phone. The COVID-19 helpline of Afghanistan and Central Asian Association. The COVID helpline was established to help beneficiaries navigate their problems in this uncertain time as a result of skyrocketing inquiries for support and advice. The Richmond Food Bank Vineyard Community Centre. During lockdown, food parcels were delivered to people's doorsteps, whilst all the homeless clients were temporarily accommodated in hotels. Westminster Food Bank, they work closer with the local council to support residents impacted by reduced income or loss of work and serve 3 times the number of clients. Waltham Forest Women's Network, Hamper to Pamper, identified the most affected by the pandemic were often care workers in care homes. So to celebrate their work, WFWN created 200 Pamper packs and deliver them to female care workers. The Singh Sabha London East Gurdwaras, a team of 30 young volunteers formed and took the lead in preparing langar, serving 4,000 meals a week to the community, hospitals and partner charities. The London Humanist Choir, obviously we heard those this evening. During the pandemic, singers have been able to continue to find well-being and solace in rehearsing, and the recordings have been sent to hospitals and prisons, as well as being broadcast online, and they've been uplifting this evening to hear. The British Pakistani Christians Association partnered with local charities to serve hot meals to those in need and helped homeless people into temporary housing, led by 16-year-old Hannah Chowdhury. And last but no means least, BAPS Swami Narayathan Connect and Care Project launched to help London's Hindu community, especially elderly and vulnerable people who are adversely affected. The focus was to alleviate and minimize emotional and social isolation by connecting with them. It's been a great pleasure and an honor to be able to give these awards this evening.
Thank you, Bushra, and thank you to all winners in this category for the essential work you have been doing and continue to do. I would now like to invite one of the winners from this category to share with us a 1-minute response and tell us about their work. Please welcome Deep Kaur from Guru Manya Grant Gurdwara. Are you there, Deep?
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Thank you. Today, as Siobhan mentioned, today marks the 551st birth year of the founder of Sikhism, Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So from all of the volunteers at GNGG, we're thrilled to be receiving this award in honor of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's teachings, without whom this project would not have existed. Guru Nanak came at the time where there was huge hardships, discrimination and darkness in the world. He told the world in very simple terms that the purpose of our lives is to reconnect with the root, the essence of existence itself, through meditation, from which we start to understand what true love and equality is, and in day-to-day living, how to earn an honest living and serve and to share. Guru Nanak Dev Ji started the concept of langar, the free community kitchen, to highlight the importance of understanding true equality, because that same light is within each and every one of us, regardless of color, creed, gender, age, or social background. Therefore, we all sit and meditate, do Simran together, and we all eat together. So this March in 2020, when COVID-19 closed all places of worship, We were blessed at GMGG, like many other Sikh Gurdwara temples around the world, that our kitchen stayed open and we were able to serve and share Guru Nanak Dev Ji's langar with people all over London and the UK. To date, as this program continues at GMGG, we are blessed. What started with 20 bags of essential goods to people in our local community in Berkshire very quickly turned into collaborating with over 130 charities, serving every borough of London with over 1 million hot meals and distribution of 470 tons of donated food produce, all for free. With the grace of Waheguru, Allah, Ram, God, or whatever we call the pure essence of love, we were able to serve as one. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Deep, thank you so much for the work you do. Congratulations. And I just want to say that I have benefited from the work of GMGG. Our charity works with just under 3,000 people, and to have food coming from GMGG to provide food for members of Haringey and Tottenham, amazing work. And you continue to supply food on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturdays, blessing the community in Haringey. Thank you for the work you do. I didn't know that the judges were planning to have you win this award, but it's great to see the work you do. Ladies and gentlemen, we've heard from all the charities, and in our brochures, we've seen the groundbreaking, innovative work, life-saving projects that have been awarded here tonight. 56 projects, 4 individuals that will be recognized. And I'd like to invite you to join me to give a huge round of applause to all these brilliant projects and all the 6 categories. Thank you for all you do. And those of you who have the ability to unmute, and the rest of you, please give a virtual cheer. Let's clap for all the amazing work that's being done. We can do this together. Let us do this together. Thank you so much for the amazing work that is being done. Thank you. Well, before we close this part of the ceremony, I want to give a special mention to 4 individuals we've learned about during this year's nomination process and who the judges wanted to recognize specially tonight. Missing taking his daily exercise, food, and prayers with others from the Sikh community during lockdown, Rajinder Singh decided to share videos online of his skipping fitness routines and inspire others to keep active with him, particularly those who are isolating at home. His tutorials have since become a worldwide phenomenon. Congratulations, Rajit Singh, for the work you do. Thank you. Then Sadiat Oketunde has since the beginning of the pandemic coordinated her mosque response. She's ensured that local residents receive food parcels, visited isolated residents at a social distance, and made regular friendly phone calls to those who are housebound. Sadiat Oketunde, thank you so much for the work you do. God bless you. Chief Abbot Venerable U. Uttara came to London as a refuge in 1992 with little English. His great desire was to help and has been to help Burmese young refugees who were facing hardship and isolation in England. He gathered these young Burmese people to create the first Burmese New Year Festival. Thank you so much, Chief Abbot Venerable U. Uttara. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. During the pandemic, Reverend Canon Salvador Tellen has continued to help the Filipino community. This included supporting the bereaved and those who have lost their work. He has also advocated for undocumented workers who are especially vulnerable at this time. Thank you, Reverend Canon Salvador Tellen, for the work you do. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. During this year's nomination process, we've learned about so many brilliant faith and belief community projects who work across London. Unfortunately, we could not award everyone, but our judges would like to show a special faith recognition to the 53 faith and community groups who are appearing on your screen right now. As you see those projects, they're on your screen, and I believe in the brochure. These groups are all working to make London a great place and a greater place for all of us to belong to. So thank you to every single project for the work you do. You'll be able to find their names and their websites on the brochure, along with all the winners. Recognized projects and individuals, you know who you are. Can we just please, everyone, join me in saying thank you to them, recognizing them and appreciating them. I ask you again to give a virtual applause to everybody, and I applaud them. Thank you so much for the work you do. You do amazing work and you make this city function. God bless you. As we draw to a close, I would like to introduce Deputy Lieutenant and Chair of Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant's Greater London Council on Faith, David Dango. Without David's support and that of the council that he chairs, tonight would certainly not be possible. David, I want to thank you personally for your commitment and the focus you keep on bringing to this. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David as he shares the closing remarks. David Dango, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Nims. Thank you for your kind words. It's my happy role to say a few thank yous for this evening, and my goodness, I think there are lots to be made, so I'm going to keep them brief. It's been a really new experience for me, as for the rest of the team, to have this virtual event. Those of you who saw the introductory videos before we came on would have seen that for the last 3 years we've been at the Royal Society of Medicine, who have very kindly hosted us in these years. In each of these years, we have had the guidance and inspiration and, of course, presence of the Lord Lieutenant of Greater London, Sir Ken Olisa, who shared his words with us. People would have been happily taking snaps with him, and unfortunately, after the event this year, that's not to be. But I would like, on behalf of all of us, and especially the teams who've been involved, so many people involved in making tonight what I think has been a great success, is for his support and encouragement and attendance and help in the last 4 years of these awards. Of course, you've seen Bushra and heard from her. Bushra and her team have had 105 nominations to go through over a period of months. And the work they do is meticulous. And I think they highlight some of the fantastic work that is being done in London by so many. And so I think they deserve thanks, along with my colleagues on the Faith Council, all of whom are creative. It's a wonderful team, knit together very nicely. Of course, no thanks can be complete without thanking Nims and Siobhan, because they've done it so professionally. I get the feeling that that's their day job, but of course it isn't in either case. But I think they're both naturally entertaining, and Nims always reveals new sides to his wonderful, multifaceted personality. Thank you, Nims, and thank you, Siobhan. Now, it's 4 years since the Lord Lieutenant asked me to chair the Faith Council. I think it was a great privilege and honor. And if you want to find out more about the Lord Lieutenant's Council on Faith, please just Google GLL Faith. That's all, GLL Faith. It's on the chat, and you'll see a lot about our work and the work we do to try and support what I know from the Lord Lieutenant is Her Majesty the Queen's great support for all the work that our nominees do throughout London and, of course, throughout the country. So now to the award winners. I mean, I've said every year what you do is such a lifeline to so many people forgotten in the corners of London, in difficult situations, and you have been, and groups like you have been helping to provide the glue that creates the wonderful tapestry of our great capital city, London, and I think shows what human beings can do for each other. I think we're all built to get pleasure from helping each other, and my goodness, you show that to be the case. So tonight, the main purpose of the evening was to celebrate the work that you do, to thank you for it, and not just to thank you, but also, hopefully, through you, to inspire others by your example, and to show what can be done with hard work, creativity, and a little bit of love, and a little bit of caring. So thank you again. I have to also thank the Faith and Belief Forum, wonderful group who've been delivering benefit to London and to the UK for so long, and for being so creative this year. I think I have been, like most of you, on countless Zooms this year. So I asked them please to come up with something different, something enjoyable, something entertaining. And I have to admit, they have fulfilled my wishes tremendously. So it leaves me with just one last category of thanks, which is to you, our audience, our record audience. You are a vital part of this. Not only do you help us acknowledge and celebrate the winners, and your chat has been marvelous. I mean, this is the one thing we cannot do when we go to the Royal Society of Medicine, and hear from our audience. For that alone, I think we've hit lucky this year. But also, please speak about our winners. Maybe you can get people to help them. Maybe you can get people to sponsor them. They do hard work, but they need support. And the more you can speak out about the message of what they do, the greater will be the benefit of this evening. Thank you all, and God bless. Goodbye.
Thank you, David, and thank you to all the Deputy Lieutenants who sit on the Council on Faith, again to Sir Kenneth Elisa, to the Steering Committee of the Council on Faith who helped to coordinate this event, to the judging panel chaired by Bushra Nazir, and to all of the other Deputy Lieutenants who are here tonight supporting the event. Thank you so much.
Thank you also to the Faith and Belief Forum staff and volunteers who've organized this evening's event, without whom this event would never have been possible. Particularly to Jessica Hazrati for expertly coordinating the whole event, and to the Faith and Belief Forum's Director, Phil Chapman, and to the rest of the community's team for their work on this. Nick, Tim, Siobhan. Siobhan's been amazing being here with you. You know, really loved it. Great time to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you to Jess. Thank you to Nick. Happy birthday to Nick, and he's here volunteering today.
Oh, wow. Happy birthday, Nick. Happy birthday, Nick.
Thank you, Nims. Thank you for co-hosting again so expertly. It's brilliant to have you with us again this year. And it has been a fantastic evening. And to round off this event, I would like to hear from everyone in the room one last time, in the virtual room. I'm going to invite you to share a message of celebration and congratulations to tonight's winners via a Menti board. So I believe Jess is going to share her screen, and we're going to get instructions on how to Menti. Now, some of you might have done this before. You use another device like your phone, or you can open another tab in your computer, and you visit the website displayed on the screen now. So it's www.menti.com. You won't have to download anything. It should be fairly simple. And when you get to that website, you enter the code that's written there, which is 3788270. And I'd like to invite you to input any message you would like in celebration and congratulations to tonight's winner. So that could be to all of them, or it could be to a particular winner that you would like to celebrate. And we will be sharing these messages afterwards on our social media in follow-up email, and we'll also be keeping them as a record of congratulations and celebration to our winners. So I'd like to invite you to do that now, and I'll read out a few messages as they start to come in. Nims, would you like to explain what's going to happen next, and then maybe I can come back to the messages once people have had a chance to input them?
Most certainly. So folks, while you're all getting excited on the Menti board, and I'm seeing things coming up. It's really it's starting. There you go. It's all happening. Well, congratulations again to all tonight's winners, and we're going to get to the formal close of this, and I'm going to hand back to Siobhan in just a minute. But we like everyone not to lead right now. We like you to stay on because we're going to have a break up room. So whilst we're thanking you for coming this evening, we want to have time out with you. And if you have a couple of minutes, we're going to be launching our breakout rooms and informal networking. Now, what I'd ask you to do is get your hot chocolate, get your coffee, tea, get your chicken rice or whatever else you'd like to eat, and get into the breakout room. Normally we'll all eat together, but this time in the breakout rooms, we're asking you to come and meet with somebody else, share some of the good work you're doing, learn from what other folks are doing, and stay around if you'd like to. And these rooms will open after a while. You'll be switched to different rooms. So just stay on, and you'll find a tech team will put you in rooms. Once you get into a main room, you can have a conversation with folks in there, come back out of that main room, and we'll place you somewhere else. Have your nibbles and just be ready to just be part of this amazing networking experience. Siobhan, they're rolling on. It keeps coming in. I'm seeing so many messages coming up. So I'm handing over to you in just a minute. But folks, it's for me to say it's been a privilege. It's been a joy being your host tonight. Stay on with us. Good night. God bless you. Stay safe. Siobhan, over to you to read some of the amazing messages coming on.
Thank you, Nims. Oh, it's disappeared. I can't see it anymore.
No, bring it back in.
Never mind.
There you go. It's right there.
Here it is. And so I'll just read a few. Congratulations to all who were nominated and won an award tonight. Congratulations to all of the projects. You were all winners. We'll continue to raise awareness of organ donation and spread the gift of life message. Thank you. On behalf of NHSF UK, we would like to thank the Faith and Belief Forum for awarding our project. We hope we can continue to work together. Congratulations to all of tonight's winners. City Seeks would like to wish congratulations to all of the winners for the fantastic work you're doing. Well done to all the winners. So we can send those out, as I said, and you'll find those on our comms. But for now, we're going to have a 2-minute break, and then the breakout rooms will commence. So if you're staying on for the breakout rooms, please grab some refreshments for yourself. Unfortunately, we can't provide them for you this year. You'll have to grab a cup of tea, grab a snack, and breakout rooms will commence in 2 minutes. For anyone leaving us now, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's been wonderful to see you all. Stay safe and see you again soon. Goodbye. Thank you.